That's a good way to start, I guess.
I know. Welcome to the Third Company podcast. We're going to be here doing a Q&A, answering you guys' questions that you send in to us.
We've gotten a few questions from a few of our very few fans.
Very few fans, yeah.
But we love you all.
All 35 of you. That's a very small number, but
it's okay.
I don't mind.
It's small, but it's powerful.
That reminds me of last night.
Whoa. Whoa. So,
I brought back memories.
What did you and Sebastian do last night then? Anyway, back to the...
Alright, so first question. Where are you from? We are actually from Temple, Texas.
Oh, speak for yourself. Nah. We're both from Temple. We grew up here. I recently moved to Austin, but...
What is our favorite song that we have written?
This is where we might have a different opinion. I'm so proud of all of my babies, though. You're asking me which child is my favorite.
Which one will be my favorite? My favorite song that we have written is probably Not Like Before, because that one really resonates.
And that was a fun one to do.
Oh yeah, that's the one that started it all.
It did.
So what's your favorite?
I'd have to say it's probably a close tie. I'm not very good with favorites. It all depends on my mood, but it'd probably be a close tie between Not Like Before and Follow You and Head Start. I love it.
That's it.
We're gonna cry real quick.
I know, right? What songs do each of you think you performed best in? Okay, this is actually a tricky question because I think I performed like shit in all of them.
It's true what they say. You're your own biggest critic, and you know when you're going back and you're listening to your own work, it's very hard to decide because you hear everything little you did wrong, and then other people like think you did great.
I think the one I performed the least shitty in was Reset.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it is a good way of putting it.
Head Start did pretty good on Not Like Before.
Deep Wounds is another good one that you did.
Oh yeah, because
I mean you only had about like 4 years of practice.
Yeah, interesting tidbit of information. I had Deep Wounds in my back pocket for a while, and then whenever we got this together, I was like, hey, we should throw this song on there. And yeah.
What is your favorite song to perform? So these are all kind of different versions of the same question, but they all have different answers because like as much as I think I performed best in Reset, the song that I like to play the most is probably Getting to Me.
Yeah.
I really like playing that song live.
Yeah, that one is just a hell of a lot of fun.
It's so fucking great, and it's like as you can probably tell from our unplugged version of Getting to Me, like that. It was so much fun. It was just
we just have fun every time we play that song.
Yeah, it's just it immediately like lightens the mood. Even though it's like a fuck you song, it's like it lightens the mood because it's got a nice jumpy tone. Yeah. What's your schedule like? Awful. Yeah. Our schedule it's completely just we have about 2 or 3 days out of the week where we get to sit down and actually do shit like this.
Yeah.
Where we get to make music, we get to, do videos for you guys. But there's not a lot of time other than that.
Yeah.
It's usually filled with the daily grind, like Joel doing his work, I'm me looking for a job, we're doing shit that we have to do to be able to then come around and do what we do here.
And honestly, the first 10 songs we came out with, we only had 2 days a week to do this. So I work a full-time job, we only have 35 of y'all, so I still got to keep my day job.
I know, right?
And so I would work full time, and then on the 2 days I would come down and be like, all right, get up bright and early, spend 12, 13, 14 hours over here recording, making videos, writing. We had to cram it all into 2 days. It was fun, but it was...
Oh, it was fun as fuck, but like it went by so quickly. Like you could not waste like even an hour.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Like those first 2 songs that we have, Not Like Before and Getting to Me, we produced those in 2 days.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And
we did one the first day, one the second day.
Yeah, start to finish. We had nothing. Literally, I walked into his house and he was like, hey man, I got this cool chord progression. I was like, well, I got these cool lyrics.
That's pretty much how the first one happened.
Yeah, that was Not Like Before. And the next day we were like, hey, we really like that. We should try to do it again. So we just sat down and wrote everything. But we planned on that one at least a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of gave that one a little bit more forethought. But that our schedule is kind of really fucked up. But
what is
what
sleep?
It is. What is sleep? Sleep does not exist to adults.
Yes. I've said it in a previous video. if you are not an adult and you do not have to pay bills, enjoy sleep, enjoy nap time. Because once you're an adult, you will never see it again.
Sleep's like goodbye.
See?
What is your favorite band? This is a hard one because I don't have a favorite band. Really.
I'm not very good with favorites, like I was telling you. But honestly,
I know which one you're gonna say. Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles.
I
am okay. This is where him and I differ very much.
Oh yeah.
He is very much a more modern lover of music. I like modern music, but I am a lover of Motown, the Beatles, Buddy Holly. Oh my god. I was born in the wrong generation.
He's supposed to be in the 60s. This man needs to get a time machine.
They called my number when I was supposed to be born, but I was in the bathroom, so like I had to wait, like a few generations.
My favorite band is probably it's really hard because I have several bands that I listened to growing up. And one of them that I listened to like nonstop. I listened to kind of other bands on and off, but this one I've always listened to. 3 Days Grace. Yeah, I have it on the wall, right?
Yeah,
there.
so in case y'all were wondering what I was doing, he has a 3 Days Grace poster, right there.
Signed by the band.
Woo! I do like 3 Days Grace. I like Green Day. I like all kinds of music.
What are your hobbies? This is again where we differ very much.
Music.
We see music is more like not even a hobby anymore. It's just like a way of life.
Yeah.
It's like this is what we do whenever we're not doing our hobbies and we're not working. Like, this is the in between.
Yeah.
It's not quite work yet, but we treat it like work.
I know
we treat it like the work that we love to do.
Yeah. Music in this crazy world is one of the few things that still makes sense. So I guess that's not really a hobby, like you said. It's just a way of life.
Exactly.
Therapy. It's love. It's a passionate relationship.
Exactly.
I will take music out on a date.
So, what are your hobbies, Joel?
I love hiking, going outside, and traveling. Honestly, if I hadn't have stopped traveling, this never would have happened.
Yeah, honestly.
I was working at Bryce Canyon for a while, got to travel all over the United States. It was a lot of fun, and I love that kind of stuff. I'm just an old, dirty hippie at heart.
Pretty much. You're an old hippie at the age of fucking 20. Gaming. I love gaming. Gaming is my shit. Halo, Call of Duty, L-Sword, all that shit. Final Fantasy. That is my hobby. If I'm not music and I'm not working, I'm gaming. Gaming.
It's true. I've seen it.
Yeah, he's seen it. I mean, I love sports and I love getting active, but like gaming is where I put my time. Like, why did you get the band together? Okay, this one is this one kind of ties into another question we have later, so we'll kind of split it into two parts. Why did we get the band together? It was kind of like it was a couple months ago that I got together with Joel after 2 years of not even speaking. Like, it was. Yeah. Right after he got back, pretty much right after he got back from his traveling, that I hit him up to hang out one day, and he came over, and we did what we usually do. We kind of just jammed out on, guitars. He brought a friend over, and his friend is Nick. I'm burping. Excuse me.
Let it all out.
And we all just kind of got to jamming. We started playing Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Yeah. And we jammed. We rocked that shit.
We jammed for probably 8 hours?
Oh yeah, it was roughly from about 6 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 8 hours. And
it was a lot of fun.
It was that night. It was that night that Joel and I were like, we need to make this a thing. We work so well together that we need to become a thing. We need to make music. And we were talking about Nick joining us, and because Nick was there. And Nick was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in on it."
And I remember we were sitting outside after all this, and I was smoking, and we were like joking around, kind of. And we were like, "Oh, so what's our band name?" And I looked at them, and I said, "Three's Company." And then they both looked at me, and almost at the exact same time, they were both like, "Third Company," and I was like, "Oh, that's the one. That's the name."
Yeah, and ever since then we've been Third Company, and as you can probably tell, Nick kind of dropped off and didn't really participate after that first week, So it's just kind of been me and Joel ever since then. But we are looking for other people.
Yeah, he still stops by.
Yeah.
I love Nick, man. He's a funny guy.
Nick is great.
I love hanging out with him.
In the video, we just uploaded the Sleeping with Sirens, James Dean and Audrey Hepburn cover. He's the one on the guitar, the blues guitar. If you didn't know who Nick was.
Very good blues musician.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
Can play Stevie Ray Vaughan like, perfecto.
But yeah, ever since then, it's just been me and him. So we're looking for other people to kind of get in on it. But for now, it's just me and him.
Yeah, if y'all know any musicians out there, we need to get like an actual band together.
I know who this question is from. Do you like anime?
Do you, Jesse?
I do. I love anime.
Since when?
Since about. Do you remember when I was dating Abby?
Yeah.
It was right after she broke up with me that I got into anime, and it was my medicine. Like I binge watched anime, and I got over her really quickly because I was able to like focus on something else. And ever since then, I've been kind of a fan of anime. Like I watched Fairy Tail, I watched a little bit of Naruto. I can't say.
Honestly, I think you've always been a fan, but ever since then, you've been like.
Well, I mean, I've always liked anime. Like, I never disliked the animation style or, like, the Japanese voices or anything, but I kind of got into it after Abby dumped me. Which is weird because her and her friends were into anime, and I never got in on it while I was dating her.
Okay, so I like anime. I'm not, like, a huge fan because, I like to go outside.
Thanks, Joel. Fuck you.
But no, like, I'm into DBZ and Cowboy Bebop and, a lot of the classics. I couldn't name, Inuyasha, I like Inuyasha. I couldn't necessarily name some of the more obscure ones, but I do like it. I'll definitely like, especially if I'm hanging out with him, I'll sit around and watch it.
Yeah. What's your favorite anime? Is the next question. It's a kind of a subset question.
Cowboy Bebop.
My favorite anime right now is probably. That's a really hard question.
Is DBC considered anime?
Yeah, it's anime. God, that is such a hard question. I've watched so much anime that I can't believe. That's not a great thing to admit. But,
like the ones with the tentacles.
God, I'd have to say Fairy Tail. Like, there's so many good animes out there that you can't say they're like bad, but they're not my favorite. Fairy Tail is the one I started on, and it's the one I keep following. Like, it's probably my favorite. Close second though is Seven Deadly Sins. I actually need to show you that one. It's actually like it's sort of like a trip back to the old style anime.
Yeah.
But with a amazing story. So. That's a later thing.
Also, like, Ponyo, Spirited Away.
It's kind of like the same style of those.
Oh, so what's that dude's name?
Miyazaki? I'm pretty sure. It might be Miyazaki. Do you like gaming? I know you like gaming, but a different kind of gaming than I like. This motherfucker is a champion at Galaga.
Mm-hmm. Once again, just like my music, I was born in the wrong generation. I can get into modern games. I will play you at the 360, and I pick up on them pretty quick. However, y'all will never guess the game system I own. It's a Nintendo 64. Man,
whoa!
Newest console out there. Oh man.
That must have been expensive.
I know, dude. You don't even know.
You know what's fucked up? They actually are expensive again.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna give that to my grandkids, and I'm gonna whoop them. I'm gonna whoop them.
That's great.
On Mortal Kombat 4. Super Smash Bros. 64. Oh, they're going down. I'm gonna break their little hearts.
What's your favorite game?
Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
Don't judge me. I've actually... No, it's not really my favorite game, but I've played. My favorite game would have to be the Ocarina of Time.
Ooh, yes.
That game practically taught me how to read. I was so young when I first played it, and I did not know where to go or what to do, so I had to learn how to read.
I've been playing Ocarina of Time since I was really little, too. I started on my cousin's N64, and I beat that game 8 times before I was 10. Yeah. It sounds about right.
The first time, it takes you ever, especially the water temple. Water temple will take you like half your childhood.
Pretty much.
If you don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, water temple will fuck you up.
I know that game inside and out, in the water temple, I still dread it.
I know, dude. My favorite is actually Twilight Princess, because it's like a remake of Ocarina of Time, but it has like a darker element.
Yeah.
And the dungeons are really similar too. Like they're really similar.
They have the Forest Temple.
Yeah, they have, except they made him like they gave him a little twist.
Yeah.
And I really like that twist that they put on it. So
yeah.
I mean, Ocarina of Time is a close second, but Twilight Princess is where my shit is. I beat that. I literally 100% of that game about 4 times.
What's your favorite temple in Ocarina?
Oh, Ocarina favorite temple? Probably the Forest Temple.
That one's a lot of fun.
I like the Forest Temple just because it's so creepy. And like, it's not even supposed to be creepy because it's the Forest Temple. There's a literal Shadow Temple, and it's creepier than the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was a little kid, the Shadow Temple used to be like...
See, okay, the creepiest actual, like, not actual temple, but it's sort of like a mini temple, was the well.
Oh, yeah.
That one scared the piss out of me. I remember sitting next to Steven at the 64, and we're sitting in front of the well, and I'm like, are you going to go down? And he's like, well, you have the controller. I'm like, can you take the controller? And then we would get to, we got to Dead Hands.
Yeah.
And we shit ourselves. Not literally, but like as soon as we saw him, we paused it and ran. Like we were like 11, but like we paused it and just ran out of the room. We're like, fuck that shit.
Probably my favorite temple is the Spirit Temple. It is so well put together. I love the challenges.
Oh, yeah.
I love the boss, Twin Rova. I will pick them up so hard.
If each of you could be twice as good at something that you can already do, what would it be?
I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it. You have to pick a different answer now. Oh, shit.
Piano.
Singing.
Yeah, actually singing. Piano, music in general.
Okay, music in general, yeah. I don't want to be specific. I want all of it.
I really do. Like, I want to be able to pick up like a banjo out of nowhere and just be like ding 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 ding.
I bet you probably could, honestly. Banjos aren't that hard.
I am a very quick learner, but you know, to master something, it still takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like, I can pick something up very quickly. You hand me a kazoo and I'll play you a symphony in 2 days. That's a simple instrument.
Okay, if you had to rob a bank, who would do what and why?
I think we know. I'm pretty sure Chrissy would be in the getaway car.
Oh yeah, Chrissy would be in the getaway car. I'd probably be the one, like, watching out for people, and you'd be the one like, put the money in the bag.
Get on the ground!
Yeah, you play that role better than I do.
Nice to know where I stand. So everybody, if you ever see me in your local bank, run.
Okay, what's the toughest part of being in a band? I think finding time.
Yeah.
Is the hardest part.
As of right now, finding time. Sometimes it's the repetitiveness. You know, I love playing music, and I love it. But when you're stuck on a certain part of a song and you're playing that same riff for 4 hours, it gets pretty old pretty quick.
Oh yeah, that we've come up with a rule. All right, we've come up with the rule that if it takes us longer than an hour to nail one part of a song,
we're changing it.
We're changing it. It goes out the window because we spent 6 hours on the chorus of a song
that we
never even used.
No, literally, we spent 6 hours on this chorus, and then we changed it and had it down perfect.
In about 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes to get the new chorus down pat,
and it was a lot better too.
Oh yeah, it was nicer. It flowed better. Mm-hmm. But for y'all who don't know, that song is "Life on Standby." Mm-hmm. We had a different chorus that was slower. It had, I don't know, a little bit less powerful of a message, and it just did not flow, and the melody we had for it was awful, but we changed it. We got it down pat in 10 minutes, and that's the song y'all know right now.
Yeah.
Okay, What takes the most time when creating a song?
Vocals.
Hands fucking down, vocals.
Holy
shit.
We can compose a whole song in 30 minutes. All the instruments we can compose. And then performing them live in front of the microphone, maybe an hour.
Oh, yeah.
For the whole song.
Yeah.
Vocals take the rest of the 8 hours.
Yeah, vocals literally take the longest time to get down because you have to nail the emotion, you have to nail the pitch, you have to nail the volume, you have to nail a lot of things for vocals. Whereas a guitar, you just have to hit the right fret at the right time.
And also, we spent the majority of our lives just doing the instruments.
Exactly. We didn't really focus on singing until a couple of years ago, where we actually started really singing.
He's a better singer than me, I would say. I mean, I'm decent.
You're not bad at all. Like, Deep Wounds really lets you shine, though, honestly.
See, and that's not even the best I can do either, which is sad. I just, for some reason, when I don't have to sing, I can sing like an angel. When I do have to sing, nah, it ain't happening. Or if it's in front of people. I'm scared.
All right, I'm losing my part. What's the most enjoyable part of creating a song? Honestly, just the process. Like, it's a lot of fun whenever you're thinking of things to add in, when you're thinking of things to edit, what goes here, what goes there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And when you're laughing and having fun with it, it doesn't really feel like it's taking that long.
Yeah.
So it's the most fun for me. Like,
if you go and watch our montage videos, there's just a lot of videos of us just laughing, because
exactly.
we're sitting here, we're friends, we're joking around with each other, and I mean that's a hell of a lot of fun for me because I get to do two of my favorite things: hanging out with friends and making music.
Exactly.
But probably the part where I get the most joy is once, we've spent the long amount of time working on this song and, we're getting kind of tired and we're kind of sleepy. And then we get to hear the finished product and it's just like all of that hard work paid off. And it's just like, yes.
That is probably the best part. You're right. Just hearing all of it come to fruition, it's amazing hearing the finished product and you're so proud of it. Let's see. What inspires you, and who is your inspiration? Well, it's kind of two different questions.
Our Dark Lord Satan, of course.
Hail Satan, 666.
Hail science. No, inspirations. I mean, that is probably a very long list.
Mm-hmm. I think your biggest inspiration is honestly like the Beatles, though, because it's your favorite band. You listen to them all the time. You were literally like Paul McCartney incarnate too.
We were watching a video of the Beatles' performance of "Don't Let Me Down" on the roof, and literally there's this one part where Paul McCartney does this thing that I do in every video of me performing. We did the exact same motion, and I just looked at him and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they both do kind of like a derpy face when they're really like kind of zoning out while playing guitar.
And then we just go back.
Yeah, then you go back and you're like smiling and shit. Like that's the funniest shit, dude. Oh. Yeah. My inspirations are probably like. Of course, 3 Days Grace. I really took a lot of my style after them.
Mm-hmm. Green Day.
Green Day is one of our biggest inspirations, though, as a style for our band, because Green Day is like what his style and my style mixed together kind of creates that similar style to Green Day.
Because I have a much softer style and he has a much harder style, so when we fuse it together, we come up with this like soft hard fusion.
Yeah, like punk.
Yeah,
sort of like punk, but a little bit smoother than punk.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of Blink in there too. Somewhere.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of like the smoothness of it.
Yeah.
And
the fun we have.
How long does it take to create a song? It can take anywhere from 1 day to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Right now we are on week 3 of one of the songs that 3 of the songs that we have. No, week 2 of one song, week 3 of 2 others.
Yeah. And it all depends on how much time we have together, how much we're feeling it. I mean, we've nailed a song in 4 hours, we did 4 songs in 2 days at one point.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it takes a long time. It all depends on how much thought you're putting into it. Are you performing this well? There's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, I'd say anywhere from a few hours to a few weeks.
All right. Last question is, what is the history of your band?
We kind of gave you a short history.
Yeah, short history.
So when we were about 13, we actually started acting together in different plays, you know, for community theaters around Temple, and that's how we got to know each other. Well, around that time is when I started picking up guitar. He had already been playing.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 12.
So we started hanging out, and I started coming over here, and he would show me a few things on guitar. And I also had a lot of other guitarist friends who showed me a lot too. So at about 16...
15 was the first one. We did two Mayfests.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I was actually forgot.
Yeah, you were getting ahead of yourself.
So, yeah, so...
It's kind of funny the way...
Wasn't it 14 and 15?
15 and 16.
Okay, so yeah.
Because I had my truck by the second time.
Okay, so yeah. So when we were 15, he was going to perform at this, like, talent show.
For my church, yeah.
And I was going to go see him, and I brought my guitar along because I was like, oh, yeah, I'm that cool kid. I'm going to bring my guitar. And so, you know, I was watching him practice, and about, 2 hours before you went on?
Yep.
He was like, hey, man, do you want to do this with me? Here's what you got to play. And, you know, I was really inexperienced. I didn't know how to play much, and I was just like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? So I learned the set in 2 hours, and we got up there, you know, 2 little nervous kids, and we played.
Yeah, it was fun. It was one of the best experiences that I had at the time.
Yeah.
And then the next year, I was like, a couple months before it happened, I was like, hey Joel, Mayfest is going on again this year. Let's rock it again. Let's get a couple new songs to play, and do it again. And he's like, done. Let's do it. And so we kind of learned a couple of songs. We learned Mortician's Daughter. We learned, God, what was it? Citizen Soldier by Three Doors Down. And then we learned, we played again from the last Mayfest. We played the first song that I ever taught him, which was Never Too Late by 3 Days Grace.
Yeah.
And again, 3 Days Grace comes back. And then we rocked the show again that year. It was great. Yeah. And it was fun. I did mess up on Citizen Soldier, and that was embarrassing, but it was still fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, even the mess ups are fun.
Oh yeah, looking back on it, it was
well, yeah,
hilarious.
Looking back at the time, it's
like, at the time I was like
so, and after that I kind of disappeared.
Oh yeah, here's the earth, here's him.
Right off the face.
Yeah, just
and
insane.
So I was going through some stuff at the time, and I ended up down in Austin then, and you know, we didn't really talk, you know, maybe once every few months,
yeah, it was very, very long pauses in between our,
like every 6 months we might talk for like a few hours.
Yeah. And then he literally disappeared from like Texas completely. He went on like his little adventure where he went to several states. He, you know, how long were you away from this Texas?
About 1.5 years. I had an apartment in Austin, and one day I was just like, you know what? I want to go traveling. So I packed up all my stuff, consolidated it down to one backpack and my guitar, and I just went across the country. I was gone the next week. Didn't come back for like 1.5 years.
So this motherfucker hitchhiked.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere, but you hitchhiked.
Is that a big deal?
I would never. Like, I have too much of a fear of people.
I did it more as a hobby. Like, just, hey, I need to get here. I don't really have a ride. I was way out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains.
Wow.
I'm like...
Yeah. And you look very harmless.
Will you pick me up, stranger? Actually, back then I didn't look harmless. I showed you the picture.
You looked
I had
like
the beard and the scraggly hair and my pack. And I looked a lot stronger back then, too, from all the hiking. Like, my shoulders were all bulked up. And I was like, strong.
So after he came back, we hung out maybe twice before we actually got the band together that one fateful night. And then, like I said, that night that we just jammed out and we were really feeling it, and it was just a whim decision, like, hey, let's make a band. And then we called ourselves Third Company, and the next week we were creating songs, and that's...
Now he won't leave me alone.
Damn right I won't. Gotta keep that momentum.
Gotta keep
Keep it going.
Keep it up.
Don't let the rhythm drop. Keep it going.
Keep it up.
Don't gotta stay on top.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop.
Even if we only stay with 35 fans, we ain't never gonna stop.
Hey, exactly. This is what we love to do.
Even if nobody loves us but our moms. A band only a mother could love.
God damn. All right. Well, I think that's the end of this first ever Third Company podcast. We're probably going to upload this to the vlogs playlist.
Hopefully there will be more to come, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This could be a thing. I'm really feeling it. This was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
And if y'all have any further questions, feel free to contact us. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You know, the fact that we have anybody following us, I think is amazing, and I love it, and I really appreciate y'all supporting us. Very much so.
All right, so let's do a sign-off.
Scotty, beam me up.
Scotty, beam me up.